Back to it then.
Can't talk right now. Neon isn't going to repair itself.
Okay, just making sure.
Better have credits to spend. You lost, kiddo? Sure. I just don't get too many quality customers here. Most folks head over to Newell's or the Emporium if they've got the creds. I'd say less than half my customers are legit. The others are just kids up to no good. Sounds like something a thief would say. I had some high hopes for this shop back when my husband and I opened it a while back. These days, if you ain't a regular, you're usually trouble. Course, something happened. Ain't that always the case? Let's just say those hopes died a long time ago, and there ain't no reviving them. Snacks, drinks, odds and ends, typical convenience store fare. Thought we'd snag a few of the Astro Lounge clubgoers who might want something to go on their way home. Turns out we were more appealing to the local gangs. Sounds like we understand each other then.
It's been a pretty good year overall. We outperformed our projections for the third straight quarter.
Solomon thought a small convenience store with cheaper prices would make a killing. Of course, the only killing made was when he got himself shot in a robbery. Now it's just me running this place, so you can see why I'm not a huge fan of strangers in my shop. Mostly tied up in those good-for-nothing gangs. Those disciples and strikers always fighting over who gets to run the place. Not giving a damn over whose lives they ruin. I may not be on the main strip, but I make enough to keep me afloat. Lucky for me, my regulars are a devoted crew. Take a look. Oh, you're the one getting special treatment. Huh. I knew you was some sort of trouble. I've got one rule for you in there, so it shouldn't be hard to remember. Third floor is off limits. They catch you snooping around, and it's open season. I'm more of an honorary member. I let them take up residence in the back, keep things looking legit. They keep this business afloat, so finances don't keep me up at night. Don't worry, she wouldn't be allowed up there either. For the record, I'm only granting you access because I have to. You'll find that young lady you're looking for holed up in a room almost straight ahead. Just remember to keep your eyes on the prize. The less you consider this an open house, the better.
Ugh. I do not understand how anyone can tolerate the lights and the music for long.
I'm watching. No funny business.
Look, they'll kill us both if they find out we didn't bring any back to the boss. How about we all just shut up and I'll split it evenly among us? No one else has to know.
You try anything, you're dead.
Another way through here. Unsure where it leads.
Back off.
Hold it right there. You aren't allowed on this floor. Yeah, right. You're in our territory here. The only way you get a private tour of our personal space is if you're dead. We may have had a few dealings in the past, but that doesn't make us friends. Now beat it. If I catch you trying anything again, I'll introduce your face to a few bullets. dead!
Come on!
Run!
I feel now trouble.
I'm back off.
I'm watching you. No funny business.
I suppose we should assume they actually know how to use all of this, and it is not just for intimidation.
I figured our paths would cross sooner or later. Not that I thought I was safe, but I never expected anyone to just slip by all the syndicate here. I had a feeling you'd be the one to come after me. Yes and no, but mostly no. Just hear me out, okay? You stay in this business long enough, you get enough favors and connections that can help you see anything coming. Nyx owed me a favor and gave me the heads up. I know this doesn't look good, but I had no choice. Ularu set me up. Yes, I've been acting as a double agent, but because she ordered me to. The assignment was meant to deceive, not benefit. And Project Dominion is way above my pay grade. It'd be impossible for me to deliver it. At least, intentionally. Look, I only know about Project Dominion because I wanted to know exactly what I was being accused of leaking. But that tech is dangerous. An internal neuroamp that can theoretically control other people? If the evidence points to me, it's because Ularu used it to set me up. What better way to frame someone than to take control of their mind and have them actually perform the actions?
This is exactly what makes something like an internal neuroamp so dangerous.
Because she knows I'm the most believable target. I'm the only one at Ryujin with the skills to even come close to being able to pull off a job like this. Power, of course. Corporations maintain their success by any means necessary, but there are some measures Masako is reluctant to take. You may have noticed that none of your assignments directly involve murder. Masako reserves those actions only when it's absolutely necessary. Ularu sees this as a sign of weakness that needs to be dealt with. It's the only scenario that makes sense. Besides, what's my motive? My career is solid at Ryujin. Infinity can't possibly beat my current benefits. Believe me, after having to play double agent, I've learned all of this firsthand. Yes, it's what the technology does, and it explains why the evidence against me is so solid. Come to think of it, it also explains a few strange bouts of disorientation I've been having the past few months. That's exactly what I've been doing here. Ularu has the skill to pull this off, but she's also been behind the desk for years now. I knew she'd miss something. This slate holds all the evidence against her. I just need you to deliver it to Dalton. It's the only way I can prove I'm innocent. Nix's contract limits his investigation to Ularu's computer and her network activity. I hacked into building security and was able to recover deleted records of her accessing the Project Dominion prototype. I guarantee the third-party company Dalton is using for his security directive Theta won't even notice it. I can't do that. The moment I step in that building, Dalton will lock me up, and Ularu will be on high alert. You really are naive when it comes to corporate culture. Once I'm back at Ryujin, Ularu will be looking to tie up any loose ends. So I can stay here and deal with you, or I can go back and deal with her. Which is why I'm hoping you'll take this evidence to Dalton. Of course you do. Look, if you just bring this slate to Dalton, I'm sure he'll understand, but if I go with you, everything is ruined. It's your choice. Do you want the truth? Or do you just want to be Employee of the Month? Well, aren't you the resourceful one? Credits it is, then. Perhaps you're more cut out for this corporate world than I thought.
This has become.
I can't
Can we
believe I
even
didn't see
trust
this
that
coming.
if we give the evidence to Dalton, he will accept it? Yes? Is that it, then?
I hope Dalton believes me. Oh, great. That'll be just what I need if this all blows over. Let's just hope she keeps her mouth shut on this one. The last thing I need is to be the highlight of office gossip when I get back. Well, that, and she'll never let me forget it. If Dalton really believes I'm involved in this, then I'm on the run. I hate the idea of uprooting my life, but I'd have no choice at that point. And Ularu will probably send every operative she believes capable after me. Ularu wants Masako gone, but she doesn't have a legitimate reason to get the board to fire her. Instead, Ularu creates the very situation we're in now to make her look bad. The board sees Masako as a risk and votes her out. And with the Project Dominion prototype at her disposal, Ularu can guarantee they'll make her the next CEO. Extremely dangerous and way too powerful for human consumption. Obviously, the benefits to Ryujin would be infinite, but as Ularu herself has proven, No one should be trusted with that kind of power.
Can't succeed at that before we are discovered.
No funny business.
I'm watching you.
Your abilities are...
Rainform! You're...
Well, either we press on or we turn back. Your call.
There you are. Can't hope to win.
Bring it!
Your funeral! Now!
Always worth checking. Never know what you might find in their pockets. Cowards.
I hope this means you finished your business.
I need a drink.
I'm not in the mood.
I tried Aurora once. I did not enjoy the experience. What's up?
What are you looking at?
Ah, Ryujin's latest returns. I trust you've got what I wanted? I'd hate to think you've grown a few ideas in that head of yours since we last spoke. We have an agreement. Huh. Turning the tables on me. I have to admit, I didn't see it in you. Credits it is. And next time, I won't misjudge you.
That may be a moment Bay you will not forget for quite some time. I know, I will recall it fondly. Hello. Until next time.
if you're wondering what that smell is, it's neon.
Ah, Ryujin's latest returns. I trust you've got what I wanted? I'll always say the best thing about working with Ryujin is you never fail to come through. Things aren't always flawless, but the end result is always beneficial. The alternative wouldn't have benefited anyone. Now, I expect Dalton to send me any updates on this little situation of his. He knows I don't like surprises.
At least that portion of this ugly mess is over.
Holy shit!
Ah, Ryujin. I'd hate to. Huh. Credits it is.
That may be a moment Beigi will not forget for quite some time. I know, I will recall it fondly.
Take it easy.
Ranger.
Every smuggler I have ever worked with had a perverse affection for this place. I don't
Well,
understand
look
it.
who's back. So tell me, what did you find out? If you think I'm paying for that information, think again. It's just a matter of time before it finds its way onto my desk. And I can be a very patient person. Inside the Syndicate? That area's off limits, and I think we both know why. Imogene knew exactly what she was doing when she went there. I had a feeling you'd say that. Enjoy your time with Dalton. It'll all trickle back to me sooner or later.
This could be the most important move of my career. Don't wander into any restricted areas.
Is there something I can help you with? Whoa. At least let me close the door before you start getting into something you can't handle. Just a moment. Shutting the door and engaging locks. There. Now that I can guarantee we'll have no eavesdroppers, that's a serious accusation. I'd even call it a fireable offense. And just where is this absurd notion coming from? Is this a game? I wasn't aware. Dalton? You obviously don't know him at all. I'm not sure you'll get anywhere with that forceful tone. Looks like someone's been brushing up on their corporate skills. Fine. Since it's just you and me here, I'll come clean. I leaked Project Dominion to NVidia Ltd. But I'm no mole. Please. It's insulting that you think I'd actually be working for someone other than Ryujin or myself. With the amount of secrecy and security surrounding that project, I'm happy to report that's true. You see, I'm not a mole. I'm an opportunist. And no one is more loyal to Ryujin than I am. Masako, on the other hand, is losing her touch. Ryujin needs strong leadership for what lies ahead. A CEO who can make the hard decisions. What do you think? If someone was a threat to your family, would you be satisfied waiting for them to strike? Of course not. You'd eliminate the threat before it had a chance to act. In some cases, before it even realized what it was capable of. It's all part of my plan. But don't worry. NVidia Ltd will never be able to complete Vina's work. I made sure of that. It was never my intent to involve Imogene. But when you arrived with information on Project Dominion, I knew NVidia had screwed up. I had no choice but to act fast. Imogene is the only one that Dalton and the others would believe was capable of pulling this off. It had to be her. Oh, I'm no traitor to Ryujin. I'm the one that's going to keep this company on top for decades to come. So, now that you know, it's time to see how good you are at making hard decisions. With your help, I can take down Masako and make the credits worth your while. So whose side are you on? Masako's or Ryujin's? That would be my side. I can see to it that you'll not only get a raise, but a substantial bonus, should all things go my way. Now that I know where your loyalties lie, I suggest you act as if nothing's changed. If you're looking for a scapegoat on Project Dominion, you can feed Imogene to the wolves. When it's time for the next phase of my plans, I'll let you know.
Keep out of my way, and I'll keep out of yours.
The Eugen CEO is no joke in the boardroom.
You're back. And Imogene? I was afraid that evidence Nix provided would be legitimate. Ularu will be very disappointed. I'll have Yuko determine her position so we can start tracking her. Were you at least able to gather any data on how she was able to access Project Dominion? And this is precisely my concern against such technology. I'll be sure to bring this up to Masako. Now, I need to undertake the laborious task of writing up a report to summarize all of this. In the meantime, Masako has requested your presence in R&D. She wants you to meet her in Vinakara's office. Masako's been focusing on how to deal with Infinity Ltd. And their knowledge of Project Dominion. I believe her plans rely heavily on you. Just take the elevator down to Research and Development. You'll find Dr. Kara's office to your left as you enter the floor. Vina's the head of our Research and Development team. She's the creator of Project Dominion, and often considered the protege of Ray DeCaris, Ryujin's founder. Not that I enjoy it. But I wouldn't trust anyone but myself with these reports as it is.
This deal could be huge for my company.
Don't cause any trouble.
Please stand back. This
I
unit
need that
is
rothicite if we want to complete the neuroamp.
Don't worry, we'll figure it out and get that shipment back. Good, you're here. It's time to put a plan in motion to take full control of this situation with Infinity Ltd. In due time. We don't know to what extent Infinity has taken the current neuroamp schematics, so our top priority is completing our own. Let me introduce you to Veena Kalra, Head of Research and Development. She'll give you the initial details.
Yes, details. You see, the internal neuroamp is supposed to consist of two parts. The first part, the part Infinity stole, handles the manipulative effects. The second part is a shielding modification designed to protect the user against other neuroamp users. Well, we can't, but the shielding aspect was never officially a part of Project Dominion. It was an afterthought of how to safeguard our own people from being manipulated, so it was being researched separately as a mod. The research itself was in early stages, too early for board approval, so only myself, DeMarcus, and Masako know about it. Big time. We'd be the only ones unaffected.
No one wants their greatest asset used against them. Once Veena can complete the internal neuroamp and shielding mod, the plan is to outfit you with both and have you infiltrate Infinity Ltd. We can't risk the assignment until we know your mind has the necessary protection.
Of course. Installing experimental technology into your very head. What could go wrong?
We expect our employees to do whatever it takes to ensure Ryujin's success. Consider this an opportunity, not a risk. Besides, you're in good hands with Veena. You're a Ryujin employee, and we need a job done. We've trusted you this far, so I feel it's safe to continue the trend. Good. That's all I wanted to hear.
And all I need is the last piece of the puzzle. The final kink in both designs was finding compatible materials to use for conductivity that the human body wouldn't reject. I've finally created the perfect alloy, but it requires a newly discovered refined element called rothicite.
The last shipment we were supposed to receive never arrived, and we've gotten no response to our queries from the station. We have a confidential contract with Consolidated Mining to keep the discovery quiet, so it's unusual for them not to respond. We have several theories. Dealing with a new element on a new planet has its own set of risks. It could be environmental, mechanical, or, worst case scenario, pirates. Mercenaries. We are leaning toward the latter. I think we all share that concern, which is why I want you to find out exactly what happened while recovering the shipment. Unfortunately, yes, so be prepared. Extensive tests and research were done on the planet, so the chances that this is environmental are slim. And setting up a station like this is second nature for consolidated mining, with plenty of redundancies in place to handle mechanical failures. The station is called CM Station RC-1. It's on a moon called Carinae 3A in the Carinae system. Unfortunately, we had to cut ties with our supply chain manager, Camden Cho, and his replacement is still getting up to speed. Otherwise, I may have had more useful information. I can't discuss the details. Company policy. Camden managed all of our outside contracts. He set up the initial agreements with Consolidated Mining, so he had on-site access and knowledge that we could have used. I'd consider it a minor inconvenience for any operative under our employment. Be prepared for anything. Once you have the shipment, bring it straight back to Vina.
Is something amiss? Right. What is it? What have you got for me? Ah, yes, we are done.
Need to move some merch. This is the place. Yeah? Buying, selling, or moving. Yeah? Well, then let me spell it out for you. You either walked into the TA to buy some goods, sell some goods, or have some liberated goods taken off your hands for a reasonable price. So, instead of wasting my time making me explain how the business world works, let's get a move on. Now that's what I'm talking about. We both want to make some money, so what'll it be? Hey, I'm not here to rattle any cages. We get along just fine. As long as I stay out of their business, they stay out of mine. On the rare occasion that I've run into something that's red hot, Ranger Price swings by as a follow-up, we put our heads together and figure it out. It's never really been a problem. You can ask him if you like. Now we're getting somewhere. Time to move on.
Contact for the outbreak.
I do admire what Bayou has built for himself here.
Hey there. Got the shakes, huh? Don't worry.
What can Reliant Medical do for you?
Is it that obvious? Yeah, haven't zoned in like a week. My whole body feels like it's crumbling.
Oh my goodness. Another poor soul. All right. Tell me what happened to you. Is it an Aurora overdose? Something else, perhaps?
You kidding? No one cares if you're addicted to the stuff. Hell, that's what they want.
Well, if it worked for you...
Unfortunately, yes. You see, the more Aurora that a user absorbs, the more resistance their body builds up to its active ingredients. That means the user needs larger and larger doses in order to feel its full effect. Eventually, the doses get so incredibly large, the user's nervous system simply can't handle the overload. Oh, you're certainly welcome to take a look, but I'm afraid we're dangerously low on supplies. I can assure you it isn't by choice. You see, I'm a bit at odds with the current administrator of Neon. His drug is turning the streets into a graveyard, and he doesn't seem to care. We've argued about it on more than one occasion, and all he's done is try to persuade me to quit. Thinning out my supply chain is his newest tactic. I've spoken to the people at Reliant Medical Corporate, I've talked to the Freestar Rangers, I've even gone to the Freestar Collective Council. Every answer is always the same. We're working on it. It's corruption at the highest levels. Ugh. So aggravating. There is, actually. But it requires outside assistance. At this point, I've resorted to asking anyone that has a ship registered outside of the Volii system to bring me medical supplies. I pay them for the supplies, of course, but it's the only way I can sneak them past Bayou's people at the spaceport. Now, if there's anything else I can do for you, anything at all, you just let me know. That would be amazingly helpful. It's a relief to meet someone who gives a damn about anyone other than themselves for a change. Oh, and I'll pay you directly for the supplies, of course. It's the only way I can sneak them past Bayou's people at the spaceport. I use the proceeds from my paying customers. And by cutting a few expenses here and there, I'm able to use a bit of my own money. It's not a bother, really. The cots here at the facility are actually quite comfortable. There's nothing to worry about. As long as packages aren't coming off a commercial vessel, the authorities won't scan them. That's why this has to be done slowly and methodically. If I get too much all at once, they'll catch on to my scheme. As much as I'd like to believe that, let's wait and see how you feel after you make the delivery. Anyway, I have a contact over at the clinic in the Narian system. Abby Edding. She's one of the nurses there. She'll get you started. Thank you so much for doing this. You have no idea how helpful it'll be for the poor folk that live in Ebside. This is all I have right now. Stay away from Aurora before you get hooked.
If you want to see how short my temper is, keep talking.
Security? The effort to make this place livable is astounding. No end what can be accomplished. When there are credits to be made. Did you need something? I keep whatever you give me, yes? That is the deal? All right, then. effort to make this place livable is... There's no end to what can be accomplished when there are... What did you need? I am always... Goodbye.
Captain, do you require my assistance?
You're handling this whole captain thing really well.
Liftoff initiated, Captain. Time to venture into that beautiful sky. Orbital pattern locked. Easy. In one instant, the stars are rearranged. And we are here. Landing gear. Check. Thrusters. Check. Landing site. Clear.
We cannot breathe here, which means one more way to potentially die. Let us have some fun, then.
Greetings, Captain.
Contact. Quiet. Did you hear that? And once again, we are triumphant. Hopefully these low temperatures do not interfere with our electronics. Searching. Secure. your hands. Not exactly the lap of luxury, is it? I think you may be trying to take a little too much on. Literally.
I also wish to be prepared for any situation, but there are practical limits, no? An impressive investment in equipment. Someone certainly considered this worth the time and credits. Best not to leave anything useful behind.
What's that? Hostiles incoming. Commencing attack.
There's no hiding from me. You can't hope to win.
Not everything in the galaxy needs to come with us, you know. Did they have anything of value?
How can I be of service, Captain?
Ship's good. Buckle up and let's go. Maneuvering into position. And we are now in stable orbit. Never gets old.
Hold while we scan your ship.
Switching grab drive to normal propulsion.
You've entered the clinic's space. Please dock, or leave the area clear for incoming patients.
Ship is now docked. Perfect. Didn't even smudge the paint.
Captain, hello. I am satisfied to see that you survived your most recent sleep cycle.
This area's off limits. Authorized personnel only. An outbreak? I haven't heard anything about this. Understood. Here's an access card. Good luck.
I have never required treatment here, and I hope that I never do.
You can't be okay with this, though, right? You took an oath, and I'd say this is a firm violation.
Look, we got that shipment. Although who knows what Faye expects me to do with it. But maybe approvals really are on the way. Now please, get back to Kyle. Make sure his vitals are stable. I don't want to lose him. We'll figure this out. I promise.
Fine. But if we lose Kai, that's it. I'm going to SSNN. I don't give a shit about my career anymore.
You and me both.
I'll never get out of this. Hey, who let you in here? This is a restricted area. Fine. I'll tell you. We're on a private contract with NVidia Ltd. It's for something they call Project Dominion. Dr. Lane and I were instructed to conduct human trials on several volunteers. So far, only one patient has survived. Not everyone can afford neuroamp technology. When it comes to the possibility of getting one for free, we had plenty of candidates to choose from. They understood the risks. We just never thought chance of failure would be so high. You're telling me? When NVidia hired us, they said human trial authorization was already underway and we'd have the approvals in a matter of days. The days went by and nothing. Every time we'd ask, it was always just days away, but we kept working. Between the money and potential success, it was easy to tell ourselves that they'd come through.
Sean, what the hell is going on here? Who is this? You think we stood by and did nothing? We did everything we could to save them. You've no idea how many hours we spent in surgery and how closely we monitored each and every one of them. It's moments like these when I think I just need to hear someone say it out loud. Sean spoke the truth. We thought the approval would arrive any day, so we continued with the project. By the time we started to catch on, it was already too late. We were too immersed in the lie.
Doctors are supposed to act ethically, approvals or not.
You really think that's possible? Oh, it's good to know you see it that way. The public would not be as kind.
Neither would our peers.
Go ahead and do whatever you need to do. You can have full access to my computer.
And thanks. As much as I was ready to commit career suicide, the very thought terrified me.
If you hadn't shown up, I'm really not sure what I would have done. I really am thankful for your help here.
Hello. So, yes. Goodbye. Now would be a good time to reprioritize what we bring with us and what we leave behind. Or sell. Or throw away, even. Yes, you need me? Very good.
Well, what are you waiting for? Get in there.
Oh, okay. Now I've seen everything. Anything I can help you with?
Releasing ship from dock. Done. You're now free to move among the stars. Our daring voyage in the oceans of space brings us here.
Dan acknowledging incoming hail. Docking Bay 1 is free. The Dan responding to hail. You are cleared to dock. Welcome to UC Space.
Time to cycle the airlock and move.
You should inspect your ship for heat leeches every...
I understand this station was once quite the luxurious place for UC military commanders. Based on what I see, I find that very hard to believe.
If there's anything I can do for you, please, say the word. Thank you. Did you have any trouble en route? None of your concern. Our business here is done. Good to see you. Certainly.
if you're ever in New Atlantis,
Was there
putting in a
something
good
you
word for
needed?
me?
Yes, of course.
My messages. To SSNN are getting through. I really did think this place would see a bit more action. Well, I certainly feel that way. The Vanguard pilots don't seem to want to associate with me. And I don't agree with Mr. Romack's views on the colony war. So there are few options left to me. You know, I really thought volunteering for this assignment was going to be the boost to my career that I was looking for. Now I suspect even SSNN has forgotten about me. So I've been told. Why, certainly. The Settled Systems news network is the longest running. Reporters are dispatched all over, keeping an ear to the ground for some breaking news that should... It can admittedly be a bit of a pain making sure those stories reach our central office in New Atlantis. Goodbye, then.
Hello.
You might wish to lighten your load. One is less likely to survive an ambush when one is weighed down with whatever all that is.
Need some work done?
Never mind. Sorry. Thinking of something else. Yes, Captain.
Indicators are green. We're free.
Gangs compete for killing each other?
We have everything you could possibly want.
You have a moment? Say hello to my wife, Rosa. Welcome to Newell's. If you're looking for any specific goods, Rosa and I guarantee we'll beat Sieghart's lousy selection every time. Rosa Newell is my wife. We own this place together. Sieghart's Outfitters? Oh, come on. You don't have to pretend you haven't been to his poor excuse for a store off of Bayou Plaza. Well, normally I wouldn't go in for that sort of thing, but Sieghart's given me no choice. That man has absolutely no respect for the business community on Neon. He skips merchant meetings and refuses to participate in any of our group buys. Worst of all, he pays off Neon security to keep his place safe. A lot of the merchants in Neon belong to a small merchants alliance. It's nothing formal. It's just a bunch of us getting together to air our grievances and watch each other's backs. By standing up to the lowlifes who come in here expecting me to just hand over all of my money, I refuse to be run out of business or be forced to pay protection. Yeah, sure, if all you care about is yourself. Every payment Siegert makes validates Neon Security's corruption. He's setting a bad precedent that many merchants are forced to follow. Anyway, sorry. I know I can get a little intense about these things. If you'll forgive the outburst and have a look around, I'm sure you'll find something you might want to buy. Oh, okay, yeah. That'd be extremely helpful. I honestly don't know what to say. Yes, of course. On behalf of Rosa and I, thank you. Just be careful when you're dealing with Siegert. He can be surprisingly unreasonable when he's cornered. The first time I brought up the subject, we got into a huge argument. Siegert said he had every intention of paying Neon Security and that it was final.
After that, I tried to speak to him a few times, but he's always been too busy to spend the time to sit down and have a decent conversation. It's obvious he has no intentions of talking to me anymore. I honestly don't know what I did to make him so angry with me.
Sure, have a look.
Thanks for stopping by our shop.
Have my attention. I am happy to help shoulder the load. That is all? Very well.
If Vina offers you a job as a lab rat, you don't want it. Take it from me. Can't talk. Doing calculus in my head.
We're wasting time. Vina needs that shipment.
Is that my beautiful shipment? You were right about this one, Masako. Looks like it. This should be more than enough. Now, I shall excuse myself and get to work on finalizing this prototype.
So, what did you learn about CM Station RC-1? The mercenary group? Only that you mean business if you hire them. They're not known for subtlety, and don't care if they leave a trail of bodies in their wake. I take it they were at the station? Lucas must be desperate if he hired them to collect the Rothicite. Were there any survivors? Our station on Carinae 3A and Consolidated Mining's contract were both confidential. We had no reason to believe they'd be under any threat. Of course, we had no reason to believe we had a mole, either. Corporate culture may have its ugly side, but that doesn't mean we've lost our humanity. Our moves are strategic and precise, as you should know. The moment we justify the slaughter of innocents is when we go from competitive to criminal. Good. I may not condone murder, but I refuse to have sympathy for indiscriminate killers like Ecliptic, especially after massacring innocents working for us. Now, I also had a report that you were spotted at the clinic. I take it you traced the shipment there? Our technicians are thorough, but they aren't that thorough. Your ship docking there simply caught their attention is all. But on the off chance it was related to your assignment, they're currently combing through the clinic records as we speak. I figured it was related. And were you able to determine the purpose of this secure wing? The clinic serves all, but it can't be denied that they require credits to run. In most cases, the clinic is also the best choice for research. Not everyone has the resources to have decent medical facilities like us on site. Human trials? Without even completing his product? Ugh, Lucas must be insane.
Infinity appears to be on an entirely different level of corruption. It cannot be allowed to continue.
I'll make sure Yuko's team extracts every bit of information they can from the clinic's database on this. I see. Should we use any of this information to expose Infinity Ltd? I can keep their names confidential. Between hiring Ecliptic and unauthorized human trials, we have enough to take Lucas down for good. And with the Rotha site secure, it's almost time for us to make our move. Not long, according to her. She and DeMarcus have everything prepped and ready. I believe it's just a matter of creating the alloy and molding it according to her design. It certainly is. And it's also time to inform the rest of the board on the current situation. Head up to the executive floor and speak to Dalton. He has an update for you on the mole's identity. I've called a meeting, and I expect you to attend. It's time to put the final plan in motion.
Is something amiss? So, yes. Goodbye.
Keep out of my way and I'll keep out of yours.
Good. You're right on time. I briefed Masako on the mole and went over the evidence you brought from Nyx in detail. The evidence you provided was enough.
Perhaps this is best left with minimal input on our part.
After some debate, we decided to fully disclose the results in this meeting. So I wanted you to be prepared. No. Directive Theta will remain confidential. We now know how effective it is, and may need to resort to it again in the future. Yes. As the operative behind the investigation, it's important you attend to answer any questions the other board members may have. Yes, the possibility was discussed, but we felt honesty may be more beneficial in this case. Now, let's get this over with, shall we? We called you all together to discuss a recent security breach. We discovered a mole within the company who leaked vital information about Project Dominion to Infinity Ltd.
You've got to be kidding me.
Just don't tell me it's Vina. I think we've all noticed she's not here.
Before you speculate any further, no, it's not Vina. The guilty party is Imogene Salzo, much to my disappointment. Our operative here obtained the evidence to confirm it.
Dalton, how does something like this happen?
Imogene is highly trained. Ularu can even speak to that. We demand the best. So that's the threat we deal with.
I may have well-trained operatives, but security is your responsibility, Dalton. This is a huge failing on your part.
I accept the responsibility, but let's not forget, the mole has already been exposed and dealt with.
Of course, thanks to another of my operatives. I know you're not insinuating that this is my fault.
Imogene's been dealt with, so bickering is pointless. All I care about is reacquiring our property and what this might be costing us financially.
Vina is completing the internal neuroamp prototype as we speak. Our operative will receive the implant, infiltrate Infinity Ltd, and obtain any and all research. I have it on good authority. The experimentations they've done to replicate the missing pieces of our work have resulted in fatalities.
I can't imagine the mess their legal department has on their hands.
If I may make a suggestion, we should give this evidence to David at SSNN. It's the best neutral method of releasing this information to the general public.
That'd make my job easier.
David it is, then.
Misako, the internal neuroamp is ready if you want to send down the candidate.
I hope you're ready for this. Good. I can tell Vina is going to enjoy working with you. Vina will be waiting for you in the NeuroAmp division in R&D. Once you're done, meet me in my office. Be ready to discuss the details of your next assignment.
Don't cause any trouble.
Got my eye on you.
The custodians just finished.
Are you sure you're okay? You left.
Ryujin has certainly taken time to craft an appearance for itself. Neuroamps are fascinating, are they not? I am still surprised they have not been completely outlawed.
Double check those measurements are right. Anesthesia always makes me nervous.
Medical practices without human oversight.
Ah, here's my lucky candidate. I hope you're ready to embark on one amazing journey. Neurosurgery is my specialty. I've performed more operations than I can count on a wide variety of brains. So I like to think that I'm wildly overqualified. Really, I could do this in my sleep. The internal neuroamp is basically the next leap in our line of influential amplifiers. It gives the user dominion over a less dominant target, meaning you can heavily influence another person's thoughts and actions. Technically, that remains to be seen. It's not legal, but those decisions will be left up to a higher power who is neither you nor me. Hey, let's not get carried away there. That terminology is a bit heavy-handed. So, are you ready to get started? Oh, don't worry. That's not on the agenda. Now, just a few details before we begin. Obviously, we'll be putting you under. I'll be making a small incision in the back of your skull where the internal neuroamp will be fitted. The whole procedure should only take 3 to 4 hours with little to no downtime afterwards, provided DeMarcus got everything entered correctly.
Did I not just say I quadruple-checked the numbers?
You know I'm just giving you a hard time. Besides, I've got to make sure my patient is reassured. There's little to no risk, assuming your brain is typical and you don't have any adverse reaction to the anesthesia. First sign of trouble, we back out and start evaluating other candidates. You're gonna be fine. All I'm saying is that you're in good hands. Now, just lie down on the table once you're ready, and we should be good to go.
You appear
Has not all been a horrible
dehydrated.
miscalculation.
I suggest the immediate ingestion of a moderate quantity of water.
Ah, yes, we are done.
All right, let's get this party started. The operation was a success, obviously. Once you're able to refocus, let me know how you're doing. It's good to see you again.
Warning. This unit is not suited for addressing mental health concerns.
So, how are you feeling? You look good? Huge success. No surprises, no signs of rejection. You were the ideal subject. Now, we just keep our fingers crossed and hope no unknown side effects come creeping in later. That's exactly what we want. Just a couple quick notes before using the internal neuroamp. First, you can only influence one person at a time. And second, the effect is temporary, so be prepared if you use it in a combat situation. Let's just say it varies based on the user. Some people have greater mental capabilities than others, which would increase the duration. Now that's something to talk to the drone engineers about. Now let's test this sucker out. DeMarcus has graciously volunteered for science, he says. Our preliminary testing was rigorous enough that there's little to no risk involved here. The biggest unknown was finding the perfect compatible alloy for the implant. We've had the tech itself working externally for quite some time. Please, we're not Infinity. We believe in due diligence when it comes to tech like this. But, just in case something does go wrong, we've got him locked up in the test chamber. DeMarcus loves being hands-on and experiencing things on his own. It's probably why he's the second most published scientist here, after me. Just head up the stairs nearby to the observation deck.
I'm keeping my fingers crossed that my latest experiment will be a success.
It is quite unnerving. It is hard not to immediately worry about the implications.
Oh my god, that was incredible. What was it like?
Wow. How to describe it? 1 minute I was excited about seeing how the experiment would go. The next, I had a brief moment of disorientation and figured I must have lost my train of thought. It felt eerily natural. And yes, I admit it, just as you predicted.
I knew it, I knew it, I knew it! I can hardly wait to finish writing up my latest dissertation. And you owe me 100 creds.
I'll be keeping myself under constant surveillance now. I'm curious if any other side effects may manifest. Watch your hands. Lots of delicate equipment around here.
So, tell me all about it. How did it feel? Any side effects? Yes. Good. Hear that, DeMarcus? That's 2 for 2 now.
I heard. It really was fascinating how all I experienced was a moment of disorientation. It's truly remarkable tech. Not at all. But I can imagine if I experienced disorientation like that, but regained my awareness in another room. It could be a bit jarring. We'll definitely be running some more tests in the future, though. So many situations to account for. Those are the kind of edge cases that I let the board work out. Obviously, tech like this is going to come with its fair share of red tape. When it comes to your job, you bet it does. Besides, the neural amp isn't total control. If a subject's morals or beliefs in something are strong enough, we still see points of failure. That being said, it's been interesting to discover the actions our subjects sanction in their own minds.
Okay. As much as I'd love to go over the details and potential of this amazing piece of technology I created, Masako wants to see you. It sounds like you have an assignment to complete, and DeMarcus and I have a lot of notes to record.
I'm on my 12th iteration of this.
I hate waiting. It's just more time. To doubt myself.
Good, you're here. I wasn't sure how accurate Vina's promise of no downtime was going to be.
Let's just hope her promise of no brain damage holds true as well.
Now that you've been outfitted with the internal neuroamp, it's time to put that tech to work. We're sending you into Infinity Ltd. Lucas Drexler is about to learn exactly why you don't steal from Ryujin Industries. It's good to know we're of the same mind on this one. Alright. Yuko has provided a layout of Infinity Ltd. You have two options for this assignment. We'll be providing you with the means for both. Option A, you gain entry through their maintenance access on the roof. Option B, we give you an assigned identity and arrange a meeting for you. Of course not. The meeting is just a legitimate way in. Once inside, you'll be led to a waiting room where your host will be running late. That's your opportunity to make your way to either the executive floor or R&D. Option A, you need to remain under the radar the entire time. Option B, you have a slight cover that may give you the opportunity to talk your way to your objectives. Just hope those acting skills don't get you caught or killed. Now, depending on your preference, you'll either find yourself in the maintenance hallway or the marketing department. From there, you have 3 targets. First, you have Lucas Drexler's computer, located in his office on the executive floor. Second is Faye Sengsavan's computer, in research and development. And third, you need to obtain the prototype they are working on, also in R&D.
As you can see, you've several floors to traverse, so I hope you're prepared for an adventure.
You'll only have free range on the marketing floor. Infinity may be cheap, but they know at least some level of security is needed in this business. Nothing a good operative can't manage. Now, I had Ularu create a program that you need to run on both Lucas and Faye's computers. I'll let her explain the details.
You see, once we expose Infinity Ltd, all of their data is going to come under intense scrutiny. We only want the public to know about their mercenary hires and unauthorized human trials, but Project Dominion needs to remain confidential. I've created an overseer program that will gather all the evidence we need, and at the same time delete anything relating to Ryujin and the internal neuroamp. Anyone who comes forward to defend Lucas would be prosecuted as either aiding or being an accessory to these crimes. They all know career suicide when they see it. As for Lucas himself, if he wants to speak up and add corporate theft to his laundry list of crimes, fine. But who's going to believe him?
It is best to keep the public unaware of such a device.
If the media were to draw their own conclusions, I'm certain they'd just create a panic among people. Controlling the narrative is of the utmost importance.
Understood.
No, we don't want to mess on this one. A body count will only distract from what we're trying to accomplish here. In fact, unless they're a master at being one with the shadows, I'd suggest you leave your friend behind. Lower the risk. Simon Rychek provided some useful info on how to evacuate civilians from the building. I'm sure you remember him from Sidonia. Infinity's maintenance crew is understaffed. It's only a matter of time before pressure gauges go unchecked and they have a massive issue on their hands. Once that pressure becomes too much, every floor in the building is going to suffer from gas leaks, setting off an automated alarm to evacuate the building. Simon was able to get a passcode for you to access their system's computer, so you can force the heating system to fail. If the information Simon provided is accurate, you can reach the control systems through a computer located in the maintenance area. It's a pretty convenient stop if you enter in through the roof access. I'm told security has masks to handle the situation, so the guards will still be stationed in the building. It's also possible they'll activate their building's defense system as well. You may run into a few automated turrets, so you'll still want to try and stay out of sight. My thoughts exactly. We're also issuing you an operative suit. It should help reduce their ability to detect you. These suits are typically reserved for the senior ranks, but we want to reduce as much risk as possible. And that's what we're hoping for. If you can pull this off, even I'll be impressed.
Once you've run the Overseer program and obtained the prototype, your final step is to deliver the slate to David Barron at the SSNN field office. If he asks questions, feel free to give him just enough information to pique his interest, but no mention of Ryujin or who you are. SSNN is used to anonymous tips. They'll do whatever verifications they deem necessary on their own to confirm the story. It doesn't matter what he believes. David's first move will be to verify the information you provide. Once he receives confirmation, which he will, he'll see it as his duty to report the news. Ularu assured me it's safe.
The Overseer program will purge itself once its primary function is complete. The only thing left on that slate will be proof of Infinity's crimes.
It certainly will, and we'll have front row seats. So, any final questions before you go? You'll be restricted to the marketing floor. An appointment is not a free pass. You have the ability to manipulate others. If someone's in your way, you could get them to move. If someone has a keycard, that means you have a keycard. The possibilities here are really up to you. Good luck, and be sure to report directly back to me when you return.
Come with me. I have everything you need for this assignment in my office.
I have been curious. I know that your role in Constellation was thrust upon you in an unusual way. But that experience does not demand that you stay. You could have delivered the artifact and then left. Why do you stay?
This place is incredible.
It does seem to be a unique situation with serious consequences. That is what keeps me here as well. My past is complicated. And anyone in Constellation will tell you I do not speak much of it. But my family always stressed the importance of having a purpose in life. You must have a reason for being. This group of people, who by rights would never associate with one another, has come together for a common cause. That is impressive on its own, before considering the magnitude of the work they have undertaken. The possibility possibilities it holds. Yes, that is one way of putting it. I am often surprised at how reluctant some are to agree with the idea. They sometimes seem offended I would suggest such a thing. When I first came to New Atlantis, I was shocked at how many people go about their business every day like drones. They do their jobs, eat their food, sleep in their beds, all seemingly without concern for anything around them. Complacent. Their experience is so different from much of the settled systems. They do not know how good they have it. There is no struggle to survive here. No great risk in daily life. I'm sure you have seen for yourself that is not the case for much of the settled systems. Hostile environments, dangerous creatures, not to mention the threats posed by other humans. None of that touches these people. You believe I am too quick to judge. Perhaps that is so. Purpose cuts through adversity. I know that all too well. And these people seem to have no idea. I have. There have been times where I wondered whether it was worth it. My family is unique within the settled systems. I grew up outside the bounds of the United Colonies, or the Freestar Collective. My parents, and their parents before them, did not believe anyone outside our family could be trusted or relied upon. You can imagine, I am sure, how existence without ties to others is challenging in space. They believed, and still do, that anyone who was not part of our family did not share our values, our goals, and was ultimately a potential threat. My time in the settled systems has mostly led me to agree with them. It has certainly proven valuable. Saved me. A few times, without question. For now, though, it would seem you and I have found purpose in Constellation. I believe that is enough. I am pleased that we have common cause, and have enjoyed our time together. Thank you.
Don't wander into any restricted areas.
As much as I hate to admit it, Masako's plan is fairly straightforward and effective. Believe it or not, Masako did a brief stint in operations. It was before my time, of course, but I heard she was quite the technician. It's not like she casually moved through the ranks either, and when it came to being CEO, she seized that position. Ask her about it sometime. Well, while you still can. I'm only thinking it's a shame I can't keep her on as my own replacement. In an ideal world, Imogene would at least still be around. But the downside of making a move like this is that those bridges will never be rebuilt. Of course, one way or another. Should too many linger on Masako's side, I'll just have you use that internal neuroamp to make up their minds for them. Very astute. It's nice to see you're living up to expectations as an operative. Lucky for you, my side of the plan doesn't involve any extra legwork on your end. The program that Masako had me write will be doing all the heavy lifting. While it's downloading the evidence needed, it will also be interspersing an array of files that will say Masako was heavily involved.
I suppose that removes any lingering questions about the kind of operation this is.
That's right. The board will assume Masako either misled us, or that Imogene was working for her. So you have nothing to worry about. Now here's everything you need. Simon's passcode, your operative suit, the Overseer program, and your cover identity. Your cover ID card is encoded with roof entry and elevator access, so that's your ticket in, either way. Don't screw this up, Skylar Lumen.
I've got my eye on